So the title introduces a positive image, and we associate a bright, sunny morning with warmth and happiness. However, there is a figurative irony here. Her son, the child, invites the reader to see the beauty of the Karoo, blessed with green willow trees, golden sunshine, bubbling fountains, springing locusts, birdsong, and the scent of thorn trees. But we realize that in line 13, however, that the speaker is mourning someone's death, and what begins as a lyrical celebration of nature ends up as a lament for the loss of a loved one. Learn that word, lament. Higher order English. Just almost discussing, quite sadly, the loss of a loved one. Summary. The speaker praises the beauty of nature around her, and she describes the various aspects and uses many auditory images to engage the reader. Now, everyone, if you would look at the screen once more, you see these last 4 lines here. Step away from the natural scene. And the sadness in these lines to do with loss are surprising, given the tone and content of the preceding lines. Happiness is only real when shared. That is the central theme of the poem. I'm going to repeat it again. Happiness is real when shared. The poet comments on the beauty of a morning in which the sun is shining. She highlights the various elements that make the morning so beautiful, but then changes direction, changes track, and asks us quite rhetorically, right at the end, what is the purpose of a beautiful morning if it can't be shared with anyone? This is a nature poem that shows the beauty of, well, nature, but highlights our speaker's loneliness as she has no one with whom to share it. It's important to note that our speaker, Olive Schreiner's only child, her daughter, died within a day of being born. And the juxtaposition between the beauty and abundance of nature and the immense loss suffered by the speaker is incredibly sad and poignant. Okay, this is a 16-line romantic poem, and it contrasts the permanence and beauty of nature, and it's made up in 4 distinct parts. So in line 1 to 4, she discusses the sense of sight. So this is all about sight. In lines 5 to 8, it's about hearing. In lines 9 to 12, it's about smell. And all these senses enjoy the morning with the sun shining. There's a regular rhyme scheme and rhythm throughout lines 1 to 12, and this creates a rhythm that captures the attention of the reader. It's also written in lyric form, and this creates a bit of a musical quality. And the last 4 lines deviate from this pattern. This break in pattern increases the impact of the unexpected ending in the last 4 lines. So this is a pretty quick poem to analyze. Lines 1 to 2, it sets the scene. The poet is sitting in the early morning sun, enjoying the sight of the world awakening. The sun rises and gives life to the color of nature. The repetition of green, green, green reinforces the beauty of nature, emphasizing the intensity and vibrant color of the willow tree. Green is a color that is associated with life, synonymous to freshness and lush vegetation and health. Lines 3 to 4. We've got a personification here of how the sun blesses the earth and provides joy and entertainment and reinforces the beauty of the morning and helps create a mood of joy, enjoyment, happiness, cheerfulness. It is a benevolent, golden sun that causes happiness and has positive connotations here of riches, wealth, and beauty. I mean, come on, dancing, definitely a positive connotation there. Lines 5 to 6, I don't want to look at particularly, but rather lines 5 to 8. These lines expand on the beauty of nature on a sensory level. The personification in line 5, we've got some nice personification here, gives the fountain the human quality of being joyful and reinforces the mood of happiness and cheerfulness. And it succeeds in providing an idyllic view of a beautiful morning, emphasizing a sense of well-being and happiness. We've also got some onomatopoeia, and it's used to describe the action of the fountain as the water spurts out of it, bubbles. It creates a bit of a carefree mood, if I do say so myself. And we've got various hues of color here. Yellow locust, golden sun that we had in line 3. So yellow, golden, bright, beautiful, gorgeous colors. And. We have an allusion here. I'm going to say that again. Allusion, not illusion, like I'm Harry Houdini, a magician. It alludes to the spontaneous expression of emotions and reinforces the beauty of the speaker's surroundings. The alliteration in line 7, life and light, gives a sense of freedom and unburdened life in the happy morning. Lines 9 to 12 I would like to look at as a whole. Shame, I just cut that wind in half. Clothed, The earth is personified, wearing beautiful clothing, and this highlights the fact that the earth is dressed in beautiful finery, in beautiful attire. The air is filled with song. What could possibly fill the air with song? Birds. It's the sound of birds. Load the wind with odors sweet and strong. The usually barren thorn trees are also full of flowers, and the sense of smell is used to show that their smell is pervasive. And sweet and strong, we have an alliteration here, and the alliteration is used to reinforce the strength of the smell. I don't know who analyzed it, but really, isn't that pushing it a little bit? Like, how are you supposed to know it reinforces the strength of the smell? This is my issue with English poetry and the analyses given by some of the big boys, but really? The strength of the smell? Yeah, look, it's the poem. You have to know it. Just push through it. You guys are writing tomorrow, and if you're watching this in 2025, 2026, hopefully you guys will be. That's just my opinion with something like that. I believe some of the alliterations, personification, all of it is pushed. Did Olive Schreiner even mean it like this? Let's call her and ask her what's up. And lines 13 to 16. Here, the poet's tone and attitude changes in these lines, and this quatrain, so 4 lines, reflects a stark contrast in both tone and mood in comparison to the first 3 quatrains. Even my tone has become monotonous. So someone she loves is not with her and will never be with her because of death. And the word never, I hope you guys can see that yellow. I really hope you can, because we are running out of colors, indicates that there's absolutely no possibility of her being able to touch or see the child. And the speaker changes to a tone of despondency, sadness, grief, dejection, hopelessness. The speaker is filled with despair because she has lost someone important to her, with reference to the loss of her child. Now, what is? This repetition emphasizes the tone of bitterness as she questions the purpose and meaning of this beauty if she cannot share it with her loved one. Now, the poem ends with the speaker questioning all that she has praised and the value of it. She forces the reader to do the same, using a rhetorical question at the end of the poem. And this rhetorical question, it engages the reader to consider her situation. A beautiful day, all alone, with no hope of company. She finds no solace in her beautiful surroundings. Further, it implies that the beauty of the morning, the beauty of nature, cannot overshadow the pain and emotional trauma the speaker experiences after losing a loved one. We have no sense of resolution or closure. Quickly, some themes. Happiness is real when shared. That is central throughout the poem. So again, this idea of happiness. The permanence of nature. Nature is permanent. Despair, loneliness. She's all alone. It's just her. And futility. The futility of human relations. It's all useless. What's it all for? Why am I even enjoying this when I am all alone? It's quite similar to solitude that we looked at in the last video. So the tone of the first 12 lines is joyful, it's cheerful, it creates a celebratory mood. But in lines 13 to 16, it's somber, some higher order English there, as the speaker expresses the loss associated with human experiences. And that's it.